What up, world? I hope all is well and righteous with you. First of all, I'd like to apologize for the audio quality. I know it's a lot of bumping and moving around. I'm currently on the road, but I still feel like it's important to kind of get this ideal off. Maybe it'll help some, maybe not, but I just felt like it was important, so I'm going about it the best way I can. If it's too terrible, I'll try to redo it and try to, make it a little bit better for you guys. But you know what this is. This the crown jewel, man, where we discuss thoughts, perspectives, ideas, to try to bounce greatness off each other and try to get through these humps and these trials that we all face, and just trying to help us through it with sound reasoning. You know what I'm saying? And not fall so deep in an emotion that we can't ground ourselves, because that's kind of what emotion do. It kind of lifts us off our feet. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes knock us off on our ass. Sometimes lift us to the moon. You know what I'm saying? But in either case, it's a shaky foundation when we're dealing with emotion, good or bad. Now, one emotion I want to talk about, guys, is fear. And before we get into fear, which is going to be what I'm talking about, and I'm sorry, guys, I'm kind of jumping around. I got a lot on my mind, but it's important for me to get these things off. Hopefully I cover everything, and it's kind of going from the top of my head. I don't do no writing down or nothing. But I want to talk about fear, guys. Okay, currently, for a little background, let y'all know, I said I'm en route to somewhere. Now, where I'm en route to is to my pops. He just passed. Hospital called me, and I made the proper calls to make sure my dad's body is properly took care of. So, kind of know it's a lot of things going on right now within the family, within me, and so this actually gives me time to vent on my way to where my pops is. So, with that being said, it's a tough time. Everybody that has lost somebody they either have lost someone or they will lose someone near to them. And it's a very tough, troubling time for a host of different reasons, a host of different circumstances. And, there's things that can compel the loss of a loved one, that can make it worse. And during these times, we dealing with an extreme amount of mixed emotions, good, bad, confusion, regret, just a whole lot of things, all of them sometimes, and so when we get caught up in those things, it goes back to what I was saying, we kind of lose our base, we lose our footing. And it's easy to do that, it's understandable to do that, and I would think it's even reasonable to do that at sometimes. But during these times, it kind of seems hard to find that footing, that grounding. It seems hard to do that because of so much going on. And different genders deal with it in different ways. Women being more emotional, they probably can cope a little bit better because they think a lot. Men tend to not. We tend to bottle it in, for different reasons. But I just wanna give y'all some things to think about while y'all under those circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm kind of dealing with that right now. The preface is a little bit more so you guys can kind of relate or kind of get the gist that I understand, that I'm familiar with this. I'm not just gassing you up. Now, I just told you my father passed. I don't want to give you too many details, because there's a lot. But my father just passed. But my father just passed today. But a couple days back was the anniversary of my brother's murder. You know what I'm saying? My only brother. So he was killed a couple days back. And it was some years back, true enough, but it was my older big brother. And now my father has just passed recently on that day. You know what I'm saying? So you know that, you know, I got a lot of things going on in my mind. And during this period, coping with, you know, losing my father, because my father been in the hospital for a couple weeks now, and all of this just happened all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Like, one day he couldn't really walk, a couple days later now he can't talk. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it's downhill. It was downhill from there. So, you know, all this came out the blue. So it was tough as a man, knowing that, okay, look what circumstance I am. Now I'm the only man in the family, which I'm already prepared for these things. And I was always, and my father wasn't in the best health condition. Let me preference that. He's already had a stroke, probably like a couple years after I got out of high school. But the stroke affected his short-term memory, and like I think it was his vision. He couldn't really see far, but he could still walk around, get around, talk, joke, and all that type of stuff. He was doing that. He was doing that up until those couple weeks back. So yeah. So, you know, that's kind of how life is sometimes. That's kind of how life is sometimes. And guys, check this out. It was probably like a month and a half ago, I lost my dog. Like, you know, my only dog. That was the first dog that I ever had, man. I raised him from a puppy, man. I lost him. So that was a blow. So these things been happening to me back to back to back to back, guys. I feel like I have not had a chance to breathe. And, you know, I furthermore preface it that I'm a black male. You know what I'm saying? If you don't understand that, or if I have to go into details about that, then we'll have to do that later. This is not the time for that. But guys, life gets extremely hard for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Now, going through this situation, you know, I'm generally in public a nice, open guy, just like I am now. You know, I talk to people about their issues. I try to help them out. You know, I'm not trying to get in your business. I try to give you an unbiased, outside perspective on your situation. You know what I'm saying? Whether you my friend, whether you my mother, whether you my child, best friend, whatever. The people who know me, they can vouch for that. And so I carry myself in that way, and it's got me to the point where a lot of good things been going on in my life. So that's partially the reason why I created this channel, that I feel like I maybe can reach more people, help more people if I do something like take the time to, you know, record my thoughts and just send them out there. Whoever comes into the channel, cool. Who don't, whatever. But if, you know, even if doing this, I just help one or two people, then that's one or two people that I may not have run across on a personal basis when going about my life. So cool. But guys, like, all this stuff that life hits on you, it's actually it's really to make you a stronger person. It is. I know they they say what don't kill you, make you stronger. I know they say all that, but there's more to it than just giving it lip service. Because all right, guys, see, the ultimate understanding, guys, you know, some people say, well, the ultimate understanding is knowing self. Yes, that's true. But to know self is to spend time with self and know and understand yourself. And there's certain things that you got to go through to understand yourself. It comes with experience. You can't get an understanding without having some type of experience. You know what I'm saying? Hands-on, of course, face-to-face, that's the best experience to get. You know, they can't teach it to you, they can't take it from you. So I say everything that you go through is for your understanding, it's for your experience. We go through life too much experiencing things and not understanding why we experience it, the purpose of it. Why is this? Why did this happen to me? Why am I going through this? Why did that happen? Why, you know what I'm saying? And we shrug it off, and it'll consistently happen or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I challenge you guys to just sit back and actually pay attention on, you know, things that's going on in life, the good and the bad. You know, the bad is easy to shut out, but the bad is just important as the good, guys. Now, I know I'm kind of going here, there, and everywhere. I apologize for that, but like I said, I got a lot of thoughts going on. I typically share my thoughts with, with other people, so I'm more focused on a certain point. And when I get off that point, they help me get back to that point, because like my mind running 1,000 miles an hour, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So I really do apologize. But if you're going through something tough, like especially like a loss of a loved one, guys, just sit back and try to understand that experience in itself. Because what's going to happen is, once you understand why that happened, it will start to heal that pain of the loss. We do things like create coping mechanisms, which are only what you call like band-aids or medicine to avoid or to numb the pain. But the pain gonna come back if you don't understand the circumstances of why it's there or why it comes. You know what I'm saying? Or at least gain your understanding, because everybody's understanding is gonna be different of what they going through. You know what I'm saying? Like even my understanding of why this happened, why is all this happening, what, you know what I'm saying? All that, it's my personal understanding. Now I'm gonna share my perspective and my understanding of why this happening with you guys, and maybe you can grasp, your own understanding from it. And that's what this about. It's important to vent. It's important to talk to people. You ain't got to face the world alone, guys. We all going through the same stuff. Why would you want to face it alone? I like to say that even going through this, man, like all my bros, all my homies, man, they stepped up. Like they helped me through this. There was so many times that I was gonna reach that breaking point. They pulled me back, and it wasn't that I went crawling to them. It was like life just, man, I don't know. They just contacted me at those times. Now I did cross that threshold. I did make that breaking point where I spazzed out, but it was at a time where I could do it, so to speak. It was a time that I could do it, get it off, and even then I didn't gain understanding. I just reached, or at the end of the understanding I gained from it, I wasn't comfortable with that understanding, even though at the time I applied it. And actually with that understanding that I gained, it was actually one of those coping mechanisms that I just taught you about. It was a way to numb the pain. It was a way to just circumvent it, but the pain was still coming back. Now if you can hear my voice, if you hear how I'm talking to you, you should be able to tell that, or it should be able to sound like I'm not a man who sounds like that he just lost his father. He just lost his father, a couple days after the anniversary that his brother was murdered, and a month or so after his only dog had died. You know what I'm saying? I don't sound like that because I've gained understanding out of all that. But you have to sit the emotions that you're going through they're gonna prevent you from thinking about it, from looking at it, from facing those fears, from facing that distress, heartache, that pain, those emotions, all that stuff. Man, it's crazy. What you're going through is gonna prevent you from looking at what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Those emotions that involve that's what you're going through. It's involved into what you're going through. It's gonna prevent you from facing those things. So, and see, I get it. You can fall deep into the pit of emotions, because when you're dealing with unbridled, extreme emotion, logic is like, you can't see the logic. The logic is not there. You know what I'm saying? It's blind. It's blind. Like, you heard of blind love, blind rage. Emotion is blind. Anybody can get it. It's subject to anything at any time. You know? So, you know, it's, and when I say, you know what I'm saying, sit these emotions to the side, understand that I'm not saying disregard these emotions, because they're extremely important. But you got to understand even the purpose of the emotions themselves. When we don't, we just go through them. We just have them. We let our body run us. I have a saying: you can follow your heart, but lead with your mind. Right? Your heart is almost like it's like an alarm. It's like a warning. It's like a warning sign for any given circumstance, whether good or bad, whether you fall in love, whether you fall in anger, whether you raging, whether you distressed, whether you upset. Your heart, that emotions, those are the warning signs. Those are the alerts. So don't disregard that. You know, that's tied to me personally, I think that's tied to women's intuition, why they be knowing things a little bit more. They're more in tune to those emotions. They're more in tune with their heart. And I say, and I'm prefacing heart as I'm going to relate the heart to the mind. I'm sorry guys, I said that wrong. I'm going to relate the heart to emotion, and I'm going to relate the mind or the brain to logic and reasoning. So if I ever go those routes, that's what I'm saying. That's how I'm going with those guys. Alright, so, you know, follow your heart, but lead with your mind. When your heart or your mind, when your heart is giving you those alarms, whether good or bad, don't just go with it. Right? Don't just go with it, because it's blind. It has no what's the word? It doesn't distinguish between this, that, or the other. It's not built, it's not meant to. But yeah, we think it is. And so we place so much on it that we'll act upon it. That's not time to act. It's not time to act off raw emotion alone. Right? Because that goes back to the unbalance. You have to balance your emotion out with your mind, your logic, your reasoning. So when your heart or your mind give you the warning signs, this is when you need to sit back and start reasoning, rationalizing. And you oppose that emotion to what it's tied to, directly to where you're at in your life and what you're trying and where you're trying to be. Everybody has different aspirations. Everybody has different things, different places they want to be. Your emotions will and can hold those back if you don't deal with them accordingly. See, the problem is we will place ourselves in circumstances that would evoke the kind of emotions that we don't need or don't want. But it's cool, because sometimes we don't even place ourselves in them circumstances. It's just life will put us in them circumstances and then evoke emotions that we deem counterproductive or undesirable. But it's the warning signs, guys. Alright? Now we deal with emotion with reasoning and rational thought. We understand a thing. We assess a thing based off what we know. And if we don't know enough about a thing, we research a thing. We vet a thing. We experiment a thing. Person, place, thing, whatever. We experiment, we vet, we research, we study. And and after we do that, we try to do it again and make sure it's consistent in what we think it is now. Now we have an understanding on how this thing operates, or what this thing is, or how it will affect us, not just emotionally but logically. What it would do to us, for us, whatever it is. I don't want to say a specific thing because there's so many things, but this rules applies in accordance to balance. Now, when we deem this thing, when we get some type of understanding out this thing, that understanding should eliminate a large majority of the emotion that's involved with it, a large part of it. Specifically, I'm talking about fear, but you could apply this to emotions in general. But that's how you eliminate fear, with understanding, guys. Because once you know what a thing is, once you examine a thing and a thing is proven to be what you understand it to be, there is no fear in it. There's no fear from it. There's no hate from it. You just, what you have now are expectations rooted in proven actions, which are facts, backed by not just how you feel, but what has been shown, what has been presented. We're talking about fears, we're talking about phobias. Because most people don't fear something they love until you get to a point where you feel your love damages you. Then you fear love. But that's a misunderstanding. That is a ununderstanding of what's been happening and what love is and what fear is. Because in most cases, we know that fear we place upon ourselves. Somebody didn't make you fear it. You inherently, subconsciously fear it yourself. That's why they say you face your fears. Because you face your fears, that's the experience I was talking about that will gain that understanding, that knowledge. Right? But it's not only in knowledge, it's applied knowledge. Alright? So I'm gonna leave it right there, guys, because I can go deep, but I know this. I'm kind of dropping these things on you. I don't want to overwhelm you on a teaspoon at a time, but if you guys want me to drop longer videos, or you want me to go deeper, just let me know, and I'll do some long ones, I'll do some short ones. I'll try to accommodate. Let me know if this helping. Let me know if if I got any point, if I'm making any sense. Just talk to me. Let me know what's up, man. I'm here for you guys. We're here for each other. I hope all is well. Keep it righteous. I'm out.